Hello and welcome to Hack It. Another series, another episode, and this one is going to be an expert series focused on mushrooms today. Because I feel like we have so many different types of mushrooms. There is so much clinical research out there on the benefits of mushrooms, and there's so much confusion out there on the different varieties and how do we incorporate them in our lives. So today I'm joined by the very lovely founder, entrepreneur, Jessica Clarke. She's the founder of Mother Made Mushrooms, which do these amazing mushroom powders. I was amazed by the ingredient label. You know, I'm a geek about ingredient labels. And so, yeah, it's going to be a very fun episode learning about mushrooms. So, welcome, Jess.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us, let's start by hearing Jess's story because it's really fascinating. I love her accent. So, let's find out where she's from and how did you start this company?
Yeah, so I'm from New Zealand. I'm not sure how far back we want to go into my story, but I have actually come from the fashion industry. So I was a model. At the age of 17, I moved to New York. But prior to that, I grew up in New Zealand, and I think this is probably where the first seed of like functional medicine and holistic health kind of was planted, was my upbringing. So my mother is half Indigenous Maori, and we grew up in New Zealand, so obviously nature is like inherently like a big part of my identity. But being half Maori, like plant remedies was always something that was in our lives. Obviously, when I went to New York at 17, I forgot all about nature and plant remedies, and went on this turbulent kind of road of ups and downs and like really focusing on wellness, but from a different perspective, obviously, because it was to look good, not feel good. And then, so unfortunately, because of the like traveling and the lifestyle of being in the fashion industry, at 24, I had chronic burnout.
Oh, wow.
And I had already been like working full time as a model for 7 years. So it was like quite a long time, but I was still such a baby, so young. And even though I had like a personal trainer and nutritionist, like I didn't have a functional practitioner just then, but I had like a good team around me. There wasn't a lot of information, or there was too much information out there in the wellness world. And so as a 24-year-old, when I turned to the wellness industry to like help me in my health, and I was met by diet trends, health fads, and like a lot of misinformation. So after battling with that for far too long than I would have liked to, I kind of just was like, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to go back to what I know. So what I know is my philosophy is water, sleep, good nutrition. Sounds so simple, right?
Yeah.
And if you're going to supplement from nature.
Wow. That's so interesting. Yeah, I love that. I love that we have this whole set of entrepreneurs who are starting these amazing businesses, all with a similar story and philosophy, you know, where we want to make this place better. We want to make people's health better. And yeah, we want to bring them closer to nature. So it's so amazing to hear your story. Wow. And so, yeah, so tell us about your products.
Yeah, so we've got powders and we've got capsules, and then also going back to like the idea of like disrupting the wellness industry that's confusing. We made the ingredient list, I think you said before.
Yeah.
So simple. It is just mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% mushrooms. Our supplier was like, you know, it goes through the mill better if it has like some additives in it and some fillers. And we're like, oh, like absolutely not. And so we made capsules for the people that are on the go. My business partner is a mother of two. She can't be bothered making a potion like I do every morning.
Yeah.
And so she has the capsules. We've got a lion's mane capsule. So that's the focus capsule. We've got an energy capsule, performance capsule, which is made of 100% cordyceps. And then we have the relax capsule, which is made from 100% reishi. So it's kind of from every phase of your day. Cognitive function to start the day, lion's mane. Throughout the day, you need a little bit more energy or pre-workout. It's like nature's pre-workout. You have the performance mushroom. And at the end of the day, you have the relaxed mushroom to help you go to sleep, get into REM sleep, recover, rejuvenate, and then wake up and start again.
Interesting.
And then we have the powders as well.
Yeah, so okay, so let me remember this because even I find, even though like I'm in the world of food as medicine, even I find like there are so many types of mushrooms. you can use some for cooking.
Yeah.
You've got the psychedelics, which is a whole different subject, and psychedelic medicine. And then you've got these functional mushrooms. So you said lion's mane is for cognitive function, so focus.
Yes.
Okay. And then you've got cordyceps for energy and performance, so an energy boost.
Increases your ATP production, your
Right.
VO2 max. It's like touted as the athlete's mushroom.
Nice.
A lot of athletes actually use cordyceps, especially those that are tested by the World Drug Health Association, or I think that's what it's called, because it's not a drug. It's a drug that helps them, but it's not one that's like listed as not being able to take. So it's
Interesting. And then you have reishi, which is your relaxation mushroom. And how many of this, how many grams or micrograms or whatever milligrams, whatever the right unit is, should one be taking for each one of these?
That's such a good question, because I think a lot of mushroom brands, and there are a lot of mushroom brands, and this is also one of the reasons why we started the mushroom company, is that there's lots of ways to have a mushroom powder and not actually be like high potency or be made in the way that it's actually going to have a like beneficial impact on your body. And so 2,000 milligrams is basically what is suggested per mushroom, but you can layer the mushrooms per day. 2,000 milligrams is around one teaspoon, or what if it's 10 to 1 ratio.
Right.
I'm making this sound confusing, aren't I?
Let's get into
So
it.
I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you get the right mushroom brand, they should have this all figured out for you. It should be 2,000 milligrams per serving,
Which is about 1 teaspoon.
which is about 1 teaspoon. It should be a 10 to 1 ratio. It should be from the fruiting body, and it should be dual extracted.
Interesting.
Those are the things that you need to look out for.
What's a 10 to 1 ratio?
So 10 kilograms of product for 1 kilogram of powder.
Okay, right. And what is double extract?
Double extract process is when it goes through a water extraction and an alcohol. I think alcohol extracts the triterpenes, and the water, oh my god, it's escaped me. It extracts the polysaccharides.
Got it. So you need both.
You need both. But you need both except for the lion's mane. But this is all the confusing stuff that the company should do for the consumer.
Interesting. Okay. And then what are some of the benefits? So we spoke about the specific benefits, but then I've also seen research on like, especially like say certain segments of population, like if someone's going, prior to menopause, during menopause, post-menopause, or let's say Alzheimer's, is there a mental health, what are there specific segments, age groups?
I mean,
genders.
In the UK, they just did a recent study, and they said that 74% of people in the UK are struggling severely from stress.
Mm-hmm.
So the number one really thing is that mushrooms are multifaceted, and they're great for all of the beautiful things that we talked about, but they're also adaptogens. And adaptogens is what helps your body gain control of your HPA axis, which is your cortisol levels and your stress.
Right.
So it's your stress response. And so it's basically like nature's aid to your stress response.
That's
and
amazing.
Unfortunately, in this day and age, and within our modern lives, busy lives, and maybe we run a company, maybe we have kids, maybe we have we're just always on.
Yeah.
Like with our phones connected. And unfortunately, that doesn't give our bodies a lot of time to decompress.
Absolutely.
And therefore we're continually in this fight and flight. So it's either like we're tired and wired
and tired. Yeah.
And so that's why adaptogens, especially in this day and age, are so crucial to helping in preventative health, and just our general feelings of well-being, and just helping us gain that balance again. That I know personally, I was so off kilter with my balance, and it was because of that.
It's so funny you say this, because there's so much alignment in the way you have plant medicine in different parts of the world and the thinking, and they're so aligned on it. Like like one of the other adaptogens, why I love adaptogens is that people are like, what is it? I'm like, it is nature's way of helping you balance your stress levels. Like some adaptogens some are mushrooms that grow, right?
Yeah.
Some like ashwagandha, which
yeah.
we love.
Yeah.
You see them in our products, from granolas to cookies and all that. That's a bark of a tree. So someone please explain to me, could there be a side effect to something like this? Of course not, right? Compared to like a pill, which is a pharmaceutical product which has chemicals,
Yeah.
you know. And so, what could be the downside of incorporating this into your lives? You could only have upside,
Yeah.
you know. And actually, there's a lot of like, at least for ashwagandha, I know because I've followed this. There's over 1,000 clinical research papers showing its benefit in anti-anxiety, a sleep aid, you know, a stress relief, even cardiovascular benefits, you know. And I personally feel that the future of CPG or consumer products, fast moving consumer products, snacking, whatever, I think it's functional. You know, when you're consuming calories, they should be clean calories, yes, but they should also be functional in nature. They should be adding value to your health, you know. Like, for example, that's why we take a lot of pride in saying we do functional snacks, and people still don't understand what the word functional
Yeah.
means. Like, your products are functional mushrooms.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
You add them, like I add them to my coffee every morning because I'm just like looking at the ingredient label. Your ingredient label is so clean. I'm like, these are grown in nature. Like, what could be the downside? Like, because you know, with some of these things, you can't instantly feel the benefit. I don't instantly feel like I'm focusing
Yeah.
after having, do you know what I mean? Or I don't instantly feel an energy boost. You know, a lot of these things, you need to take it for a period of time, and then slowly you start noticing the difference a couple of weeks ago before taking them and after taking them,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of patience. And the way I say it is like, what could be the downside? It's nothing. It could only be upside, you know.
Definitely. It builds resilience as well in our bodies. And so, like, yes, okay, you have to take it over time. But first of all, it's easy to add it into your daily routine, the way that we've made it into, like, I just baked it into banana bread this morning. So delicious. And, like, it's so nice when I consume something or have something and I'm like, I'm not thinking about calories anymore
Yeah.
like I used to when I'm modeling. I'm thinking about, oh my God, this is actually, like, I want to have that cookie because it's got adaptogens in it. And it's like, it's beneficial to my health.
Yeah.
I think it's a really nice way of like flipping the script and like emotions around food and eating as well.
Yeah.
When it's always, it's not always, and maybe not to everybody, but there has been a bit of like a restrictive mind game about food
Absolutely.
instead of this, which is actually inviting you to
Absolutely.
be excited about food again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you. I don't think that like healthy food is boring anymore.
No way.
I think it used to be. And healthy food just means like, honestly, when you eat clean, you actually taste the food. Like, you can actually taste the ingredients it's made from. When it's not clean, frankly, God knows what you're tasting.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, like a, you know, KFC or a Domino's or a Burger King burger. It tastes good. It's yummy. It's like filling you up, and you know. But are you really tasting what it's made of? Not really.
I saw this thing the other day and it was like a Snickers bar compared to the 80s and then a Snickers bar now. And like back in the 80s, it was like peanuts, caramel, like sucralose. I had like 5 ingredients. And then it was like Snickers bar now. And it was like, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah, like 50 ingredients.
I was like, oh my God.
Exactly.
So
How
even
can you
bad
even-
foods are like even badder now. Do you know what I mean? Bad foods, quote unquote.
I think you should be able to taste the stuff you're eating.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and like I
Just
think
strip
that's
it back, like make it
yeah,
simple again.
Yeah,
Is basically what I'm into.
yeah,
It's
like
just
real food.
real food.
Yeah, and I think if you can find ways, I think in like in what we do, like I think snacking and things, I think you can find ways. Personally, I think like for January, I'm really excited about adding these to like my dry January,
Yeah.
end of the evening mocktail,
Whoa.
you know, like something like that where I still feel, you know, like I'm treating myself with a drink, but it's non-alcoholic and it's functional. So I think these have, you know, these mushroom powders can be used in like so many different ways.
Yeah.
Now tell me about like,
Maybe the cordyceps because it's also like a bit of a libido booster.
ooh,
Maybe like a libido booster cocktail.
I mean,
Why not?
that's
right?
helpful. Yeah.
Sexy cocktail.
Yeah, sexy cocktail. So tell me about like the use of these mushrooms for kids, for example. Like, is it safe? Like, when do you start incorporating them for your kids? How do you think about that?
Yeah, I personally have been taking them for a very long time, and so is my business partner. And so my business partner is comfortable. Her name's Emily. She's beautiful, and so there for a very long time. She's comfortable giving them to her kids. I'm comfortable giving them to my pets. However, I would I would advise that you speak to your doctor first.
Yeah.
I don't have the background to be able to advise that.
Yeah, no, I mean, because there is actually it's a good idea. I think our next episode, we want to speak to like a nutritionist.
Yes.
For kids.
We have an in-house nutritionist.
Oh, good.
So that's what's really amazing about Mothermade is that, like, obviously I'm passionate about mushrooms and I love mushrooms. I've been taking them for like over 8 years. But at the same time, like, we've really like dedicated years of like research and like speaking to people that are experts in this field to come up with this product. And going further than that, we've third party tested all of our powders and capsules. Anyway, so I'm not pitching my business, but I'm just saying that we have an in-house nutritionist that answers all of the questions that like people write in about, because I think also that access is like, unfortunately, the access to like nutritionists and health practitioners and herbal practitioners, like it's expensive.
It is expensive. I agree.
Get access to that. So that's one thing that we do, is trying to open up that conversation with people that are experts in the field. And I think that's why podcasts are so good as well, because people get to listen into conversations that, could cost them a pretty penny.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we launched a mobile app. Because we have a lot of clinical research that we've been cleaning up.
Wow.
Just on like, especially food, and lifestyle and diseases links, because this set of clinical research, it's actually very biased. And you can imagine why, right? You've got a lot of these big companies that have been created post the Industrial Revolution. They're also large taxpayers.
You can't patent natural ingredients.
Yes, exactly.
There's no commercial reason for them to want to do scientific research on natural ingredients.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Exactly, that's true. But also the ones that there are, I mean, it is quite a biased data set, which, I just felt that when I started this journey, I was reading it all by myself, and I just felt that like it's very difficult for any human being to kind of keep up with it. It's just so confusing, and that's why
we're in this game.
Exactly, and that's why I also feel like there is a lot of confusion in this market. Fad diets, keto versus paleo versus free from versus etc. Because it's just so hard to keep up, and that's why we started working with machine learning to like clean up some of this clinical research, rank it to really understand the links between ingredients and preventative medicine and lifestyle and all of that. And then we brought in doctors to further improve the accuracy of these models. So we make our food products using some of this knowledge. But then we said, what, people should have this on the go. So we launched a mobile app, and you do an onboarding journey where it understands you download it, right? So you understand that it understands you. It's personalized to you. So you can play around with ingredients, recipes that are good for you, but you can also chat with the Foodhak assistant and see, what, I need more energy, or I didn't sleep so well. What do you recommend? And, it could recommend some of your mushrooms or, so it's just.
But food really is the medicine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let food be thy medicine, medicine be thy food. So wasn't that Hippocrates? Exactly. It really is so powerful, such a powerful tool if you really do understand it.
Yeah.
And then if you're adding superfoods on top of that and adaptogens.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That is, you've just described Foodhak.
You literally look like Beyonce for the rest of your life.
Exactly. You've just described Foodhak. So that's what we do. We're bringing in like these forgotten superfoods, ginseng, moringa, ashwagandha, adaptogens, superfoods, chia seeds, like our cookie has chia seeds. Like, why would I not give it to my kids, when each cookie has a gram of protein, but the protein's coming from chia seeds.
Right.
It's just, I think that hopefully that's the future.
The thing, everyone thinks you need protein powder. It's like, oh my goodness, if you make a seed cracker with like 7 ingredients, you get way more protein than you would ever get from a freaking protein shake.
Oh my God, I feel like you're describing Foodhak products. Have you tried my crackers?
No.
They are seeded crackers. And there are like 7 different types of seeds, and they have more protein. I think so. I
love this.
Seriously, I'm gonna make you try our crackers. That's crazy. So our crackers are made with seeds, but we use millet flour, rice flour for the crunch.
Yeah.
And they actually have more protein than a protein bar without using any powder.
Yeah. And they taste way better, by the way.
They taste yummy. You don't even need dips. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
What you're talking about.
That's crazy.
I'm also like such a crisp fan. That's like my I will have like a proper crisp because I just like that's my like guilty pleasure. But the fact that I can have like a healthy crisp and
Yes,
have some protein
exactly.
as well is so nice.
Exactly.
And protein bars, oh my god, that's another thing. I turn
Yeah.
around the back of it and I look at the ingredients. I'm
You
like,
don't
what?
recognize. I
What am
know.
I eating?
I know.
And this is what nutritionists were like telling me to eat when I was a model, when I was 24 living in New York. It's just insane.
Yeah, it's insane. But this is the minute you join a personal trainer, the first thing he'll tell you is
Oh yeah,
buy a
shake.
protein powder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get that protein.
powders and chemicals, and have 2 a day and have 4 a day, and it's just
Yeah, skip lunch, but have a protein shake.
exactly these meal replacements. I mean,
Nice.
it's insane.
Yeah.
I can live on our crackers. It's actually our
Yeah.
hero product, and so we've actually expanded flavors in that.
Really?
Because people were loving it so much because you don't need dips like a normal cracker is boring.
So good.
You know,
So good.
it's crazy. I can't believe how like we're just raving
So
about our
blind.
product.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. But it's funny you said that because that's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
Is like
Cool.
stuff that you make at home, clean, packed with superfoods, like for your kids. Like why can't that be commercialized? You know, why can't that be available to everybody, to those people who are busy? You know, we can do the hard work for you. We don't want to be lazy and do another potato crisp company. You know, there's
Yeah.
enough out there.
Yeah.
Right? But we could do these crackers, and add superfoods in there and be a little, little bit more mathematical about the ratio of the seeds to give you all those benefits. Like ours actually have more omega and magnesium than even a pill.
No way.
Ah,
And also just the fact that you guys have done the work for like I'm sorry to keep talking about moms, but like moms and dads, but like busy moms and dads that like
yeah,
they're like that you go to the kids section, you're like
I know. There's
and
nothing.
then there's nothing. And so if you can actually pick up a box of crackers and just be like 100% sure.
Yeah,
that it's
my
really
kids
good.
like them.
Because then the other option is you have to cook them yourself. And some people are so
Yes.
time for. And I know
I
you
know.
should, and I know I should, but sometimes you don't have time.
You can't. I mean, I don't have the time to cook. So I'm a Foodhak customer, subscriber. It just
Yeah.
does the job. Yeah, like on the plane. How
Yeah.
can you eat like when you get on the plane with kids? What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
My travel's
Cheese
coming
and
up. So
Swifties.
before you were coming, I was like,
Yeah,
my
getting all
super
that.
sized snack bundle. I'm buying that, like 5 of
Amazing.
each.
Great. Great.
Just to keep me going through the holidays. Anyway, okay. So coming back to, I know we got diverted, but actually our worlds are quite overlapping, right? Like mushrooms, they actually do come from the world of food as medicine. This whole ecosystem. And so tell us, how do we get access to these, to Mother Made mushrooms?
To Mother Made, so we have a website that we
Okay.
just launched. We're brand new. We just launched like 2-3 weeks ago. So that's a good place to get them. And then we're slowly popping up around London. We've got we're in Supermarket of Dreams in Notting Hill and Bodyism, the Roof Gardens as well. But online's the best and easiest.
Yeah.
Because you get it within 2 days at your doorstep. Don't even
Yeah.
have to move with
Yeah.
your finger.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so what's the plan for...
World domination.
yes, that's what we like to hear.
Make everyone healthy and happy
Yeah.
and uplift the human collective. I just want to share mushroom magic. I know that sounds so silly, but I think it's had such an impact on my life, and I really truly don't know where I would be if I didn't. Without sounding like ooky spooky, because I'm quite a pragmatic person as well, but without finding or going back to my roots and like kind of figuring out this balance again, I really was on this perpetual roller coaster, and I don't know where I would be without it, without sounding so cheesy. So I think it's more just
That's
about
amazing.
like making holistic health mainstream
Yeah.
and educating people so they don't do what I did when I first turned to the health industry and freak out and just like run the opposite direction. Make it super simple, super clear. Adaptogens is like the best superfood and best way to start in terms of like controlling your stress levels without kind of like affording expensive advanced like adrenal testing. Like adaptogens is such an amazing, safe way to start, and they have a plethora of benefits. They don't have a plethora of like adverse effects like other kind of like pharmaceutical drugs where you would need like a health person's help to prescribe them. So I think I just want everyone to be introduced to mushrooms, educate themselves around holistic health, and hopefully spark some curiosity in their minds and help balance them in this crazy modern life that we're all living in.
Yeah, I love that. I think we could use all the help that we could get. Um, by the way, crazy question, and you don't have to know the answer to this because it's just a weird question. I'm a very curious person.
Yeah.
But do you think that like adding, so we've been playing around with your mushrooms in
Love that.
the restaurant here.
Right.
So I forgot to say, we are at Foodhak's first and newest restaurant, Jugad, where we are bringing the principles of food as medicine, but to restaurant style Indian dining experience where we've removed the bad stuff and we've put in the good stuff. So obviously, we had to be experimenting with Jess's mother-made mushrooms. And we have an amazing cocktail menu. I actually think we don't push it enough, our mocktails, cocktails. We put in so much love into it. And so yesterday, I was experimenting with your mushrooms in some of our drinks. And do you think that if you add it in your cocktail, like an espresso martini,
Yeah.
do you think that, yeah, that it helps you make it a better cocktail, like better for you cocktail? Or do you think alcohol is just terrible?
I mean, I guess it has already gone through like an alcohol process. So
Right.
I think if you add it to alcohol, it shouldn't
Yeah.
do anything harmful.
Yeah, I actually
yeah.
added it. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Well, we'll
I add it to
experiment with it.
absolutely everything. If you can get mushrooms into your day, if you can only get mushrooms into your day through an espresso martini, then go for it, girl.
I love that. So yesterday I also tried it in a mocktail.
Yeah.
It actually tasted better because it brings
We
that,
worked
like
so hard on our
earthy-
formulations. We really did. Because mushrooms, and they don't taste like mushrooms. I would never have a supplement every single day if they actually tasted mushroomy in my coffee.
Yeah.
So we formulated them like it. We were very purposeful of like the ratios and the type of mushrooms. So they did have like a beautiful taste. So the AM blend is very kind of like nutty and earthy, and so maybe that's why. Was that the one you used? In the
So
cocktail?
I personally use the AM blend in the morning in my coffee.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've tried other mushroom powders and your one actually doesn't have a strong taste, which is amazing. So it doesn't change the taste of my coffee,
Yeah.
And here we were playing around with the PM taste because we just assumed that when you're having a cocktail or a mocktail, you want to be in that relaxed.
Oh, you want to pee it?
Yeah, so I went for PM in the mocktail. So we tried an old
Very boring
fashioned.
party. Everyone be asleep.
But it was really good. I'm gonna make you try it after
Okay,
this
yeah,
and
great.
see what you think. But yeah, I use the AM blend. I've been using it since I came to Supermarket of Dreams. Yeah, so I've been using it, and what I love is that it doesn't it doesn't change the taste of my coffee, which is really interesting.
We think it takes like the bitterness out of the coffee a little bit. It's like a little bit like more rounded, and then the PM's like a bit like umami flavored. Like if you have it just with hot water, it's like it's subtle miso soup.
Interesting.
But we also add it to like food and stuff, so it's like a stock. It has a flavor, but it's nice. It's like earthy. Do you know what I mean?
Love it.
Instead of bitter, which is
Love it.
not nice.
So it seems quite
Fancy like
versatile. Yeah, I mean, I frankly could use all the help I can to manage stress. Like I'm a mom of two, pretty active with them. I have businesses, trying to educate the way people eat food and surround them with better for you food products and a mobile app. So there's a lot going on in my life, and stress is like a secret killer. Like I feel like it's hard to know and quantify stress, but then it shows up in its weird ways,
Yeah.
whether it's disrupted sleep or whatever. So I just feel that if I can find natural remedies that can help me manage that, even if I don't feel it instantly, because I know these things take a while.
Definitely. Well, chronic stress is actually like the main cause of like the leading diseases that we
Exactly.
struggle with. Like I don't want to
Exactly.
mention the C word, but that's like comes from like, well, one of the things is chronic stress. So, I mean, preventative medicine is like, even though we're trying to be like fun and like learn about mushrooms and include them in your life, it's actually kind of serious. Like
Yeah.
chronic stress is really serious. And we go on in our lives thinking that like, this is just normal. You got to get through it and, balancing act. But like, if this little secret is out there that can actually help you cope
Yeah.
with that, and you need to do that to look after yourself. You
I
really
agree.
do.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So yeah,
It's not
I've
fun.
been.
It's not fun working on 60%. Because I felt like I was like running on 60%, and all of a sudden, I'm not going to say I'm like running on like 100% now, but I'm like running more in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like I was struggling.
Yeah.
Like really bad.
Yeah.
Kind
And I think like mental health is a big thing, right?
Mm.
Like I always say that like the last quarter for me of the year, which is like now, you know, I find it very hard to, you know, wake up in the morning and feel happy and be that bubbly self that I am at the start of the year. You know, it's because a whole year's gone by and you've been running and launching new products and collaborating. It's a lot. And, you know, you live in these busy cities like London and you're out every night, like so many nights, you sleep late, your circadian rhythm gets disrupted. You know, you can't control your food and what you're drinking that night, right? Because even if you have a glass of wine, just for that, you know, just to loosen up and talk to random people, you know, all of it all plays a role, right? In the way you feel the next morning. And then by the time it's like December, you know, you're like running on fumes, you know, and just to like wake up happy or, you know, feel good about what you're doing or just have that balance. It's hard.
That's the ritual, I guess, right? It's like that you get 3 chances a day to help your body cope with what you're putting it through. And if like say dinner, you're out with your friends, okay, 1 chance, it's okay, whatever. But when you wake up the next day, that's your second chance to put something nutritious into your body and like feel that beast. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you get the second chance. And then if you have your mushroom coffee or an adaptogen that's somewhere, or like really like you get those chances throughout the day to make a good decision. And I'm not saying that I make good decisions all the time. Oh my goodness, I don't even think I make good decisions half the time. But at least when I'm like purposeful and do this, I'm purposeful when I like choose those times and the chances and have my ritual, which is my coffee in the morning, to just give back to myself.
I love that.
Like a process of self-love.
I love that.
Gratitude.
I love that. I mean, I guess if you were given the choice between a normal coffee and an adaptogenic coffee,
100%.
What's the downside? It can only help you.
Well, I do have coffee, in my mushroom coffee. Some people have the mushroom coffee just by itself. I like coffee.
No, me too. So I add your powder
same.
in my normal coffee. Yeah, exactly. We're human beings.
But then, we're human beings, guys.
Yeah.
But then I used to have my second, third, fourth, fifth coffee, and now I just have my second, third, and my second, third don't have coffee in them. It just mushrooms.
Is the blend.
Yeah.
That helps.
And it tastes like coffee as well, and it gives me the same kind of like habit that I've formed over 10 years of.
That's amazing. Habit formation.
Habit formation.
Amazing. Okay, so my big takeaways for today were, so you have lion's mane, that is your focus, cognitive function, so good for the brain. You've got cordyceps for energy and performance, right? And then you've got reishi, which is your more calming mushroom. And they're all adaptogens and they help manage body's stress. So anyone who's watching, who's stressed, this is a great way of managing your stress. And you can combine them with our ashwagandha cookies.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right?
Love that.
Or granola, ashwagandha granola.
Like, how good.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Cookies itself release stress. Let's be honest.
Exactly. And especially if they're clean ingredients.
Perfect.
I mean, yeah, double whammy.
Love it.
Thank you
Thanks so
for
much,
being on this podcast and telling us more about mushrooms and the whole process. But I guess the big takeaway also is that we should all turn the back of the pack and check the ingredient label, because there are, I mean, good that there are many other companies doing all this stuff, you know, mushrooms and all that. But, you know, turn the back of the pack, look for the cleaner label of mushrooms and try and incorporate it. Hopefully we'll do a masterclass together. Maybe with cocktail, mocktail, how do you put mushrooms and then make a functional drink?
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's
Thank
do
you
that.
very much.
Thanks so much for having
This
me.
was fun. Thank you for listening to Hack It. I hope you enjoyed the insights and stories that we shared today. Are you hungry for more? Follow us on Instagram at The Foodhak. That's a hack without a C. Or subscribe now to be the first to hear about our next episode when it drops. See you next time.